Scholar Gerd Thiessen explains that the Jesus movement was a first-century Palestinian Israelite renewal movement composed of socially uprooted wandering Israelites who left their villages, homes, families, wealth, and safety to pursue a radical lifestyle of voluntary poverty, and who were supported from time to time by local sympathizers in Galilean villages. Mark chapter 10, verses 35 to 45 presents a curious story about the Jesus movement. It concerns members of Jesus' core group competing for honor and the status that derives from it. Core members James and John, blood relatives, wished to be honored above the rest of the 12, Jesus' innermost circle. The group that Jesus gathered around himself is technically called a faction. Members of such a group or coalition each have a direct, important, and relatively strong relationship with the faction leader, Jesus in this case, and this is represented in the red arrows. Also, within the core of Jesus' faction, there are biological or otherwise close pairs who have direct, important, and relatively strong relationships between each other. This is represented by the other colored circles and lines. Even though all members of Jesus' coalition have a direct, important, and relatively strong relationship with him, the faction leader, they possess very little knowledge of or relationship with each other. This is represented by the black lines. It should be pointed out that no person on this diagram is a Western individualist. All are collectivistic dyadic personalities, each sharing a group self with a group conscience. In this story, James and John, two blood relatives, do something very normal and quite customary in this culture within factions. They jockey for a higher position of honor in the group, and they don't give a damn about the others. When Jesus receives his glory from the God of Israel, that is, when he gets his full measure of honor, these two brothers want to share in it by gaining the most prestigious positions next to him. In the Mediterranean cultural world of the Gospels, everything is always about honor. In fact, every page, every sentence of the Bible is seasoned with concern for honor, the core cultural value of the Mediterranean world. And if you can't see that, then you are misunderstanding Scripture, guaranteed. In Jesus' faction, each group member already possesses a degree of honor that derives from his birth, that is, his ascribed honor. Nothing can be added to or subtracted from that honor. Even the lowliest of peasant-day laborer nothing people, like Jesus and his fisherman followers, have some tiny little degree, some little speck of honor. Thus, Jesus from Nazareth is an artisan's son. That is his ascribed honor. Simon and Andrew are sons of the fisherman Jonah. That is their ascribed honor. As James and John are sons of Zebedee the fisherman. That is their ascribed honor. But in the Mediterranean world of the Bible, honor can also be achieved. Most often through honor contests known as challenge and repost, where one person asks another questions in hopes of shaming him and thereby increasing his own honor. The request of James and John is still another way of achieving honor, through personal effort. Here, the effort is little more than the request for a favor. Since Jesus is the acknowledged faction leader, the leader of this group, he can do a favor for individual members and grant them privileges that would make them stand out in relationship to others. Of course, the others are incensed to learn of this move by James and John, and they express their indignation. James and John have provoked envy in the other 10 core members. Instead of granting the favor, Jesus asks if the brothers can drink the cup that he drinks, which constitutes his claim to achieved honor. What Jesus is really asking is, will you be able to share my fate? Like all metaphors, the cup also developed from a real-life custom. Throughout the circum-Mediterranean world, the head of the family fills the cup of all at table. Each male is expected to accept and drink what the head of the family has given him. Since all God talk or theology is based on analogy, and all analogy is rooted in culturally specific human experience, and the behavior of God is assumed to be like the behavior of human beings within a given culture, the cup came to represent the lot in life which God has assigned for each person. The cup then is their fate. If Jesus accepts his assigned lot in life, his fate, then he will attain the honor determined by God. The brothers James and John impetuously affirm that they can indeed accept and fulfill the same lot assigned to Jesus. At this point, Jesus reminds the two brothers that he is just a broker of Israelite theocracy and not its patron. To use an analogy from the Godfather movies, Jesus is not the Don. Instead, Jesus is like Tom Hagen. Tom Hagen is the broker that gets you in to see Don Vito, the patron. To put all the focus on Tom Hagen instead of the Don is to confuse and misunderstand the Godfather films. In the same way, to place all the focus on Jesus the broker instead of the patron God of Israel is to confuse and misunderstand the New Testament. Jesus, the shamanic holy man broker, can put others in touch with God the patron in alternate reality, but it is God alone who determines each person's lot and deserved honor. This is extremely important to realize, especially for Christian readers of the Bible. To read the New Testament in a Christocentric way is to miss the thrust of all 27 documents. Only centuries later in Christianity does Christ emerge as the focus.